Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 4th. This week, we're just going to jump right in here, Scorpio, and we are going to see what is going on for you. This is a mixture of the Good Tarot, the Sacred Shaman Oracle, and another deck that I can't remember, but, I'll put the name of it down below. And that's going to be that. So we're going to see what is going on for you at this time. You have this coyote card here, so I would just be careful of like anything. If there are certain things that you like see as a warning sign, it's definitely popping into my head. That's how it's popping into my head, I should say. Intuitively I feel like it's saying if there are certain things that you look at as a warning sign, I would pay attention to those things. I think we all have things that kind of stand out to us where we're like, maybe I should be careful. Not a bad reading, but if you have one of those moments this week where you kind of feel like, I should pay attention to that, then I would pay attention. You start off with the Eight of Cups. You also have the Death card and the Magician. So you have the Death card, the Magician, and the Ten of Wands. We are in a time of great reinvention. I feel like pretty much everyone that's alive right now is going through a reinvention process where we could be, changing the way that we live our lives. We could be changing the things that we do in our life. Any type of change that you could possibly imagine. So I just feel like, a lot of us are walking away from things that no longer serve us, but I don't even think it has to be things that don't serve us. I think a lot of people are just walking away from things looking to have a new life, looking to mostly change the rules is what I'm getting for you here. I've definitely had that for a couple other people, but, going this direction, Nine of Wands, Magician. The Magician is pointing to the Emperor here, and, again, I feel like some of you are kind of like saying, there are certain rules I want to follow, there are certain rules I don't want to follow. And that's it. I feel like everybody's going through this, mostly because of the astrology. So some of you could be moving. There could be certain rules at your work that you don't like, that you don't want to follow, and you could be finding another business that lets you follow the rules you want to follow. I feel like a lot of people are doing this. Again, what I would say to you is if these are, if this is making you feel more valued, or if it has anything to do with your values, then these changes are going to overall be extremely, beneficial for pretty much anyone who makes them. So I'd say, just look at the things that you value, and if your job has those values, for example, then keep going. If it doesn't, change. Same thing in relationships as well. If you're with a person who doesn't value you, or who maybe they don't have some beliefs that you value, then it might be time for change. You have the Nine of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Death card. Again, Nine of Wands really tells me that you could be doing something that you thought of doing or that you've tried in the past. So a lot of you could be revisiting something, I feel here. I don't feel this is a person. If you're revisiting love, for example, I feel like you're trying love again, or you're trying to find love again. But for the most part, I feel like some of you could be revisiting like a business idea or a project or something you wanted to work on in the past. You have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups definitely could be love. So love is showing up here, but the Two of Cups, this is like you and your higher self. So some of you could be connecting on a very deep level to your higher self. I do feel like we're in a very spiritual time as well, where we could be very connected to our higher self, to our guides, ancestors, things like that. So I feel like you're very connected at this time, and I do believe that your higher self, your guides, whatever you tap into, I feel like they're trying to communicate with you. This is the staff of Hermes right between these two people, and it represents Mercury, represents communication. So I feel like there is communication, or not, but it kind of feels like it's communication that's trying to come through. It's kind of funny because I kind of feel with this coyote spirit that you're being communicated to through like signs and symbols, or through, again, I think we all have our own little things that we trust. Like for some of us, it's like 11:11 on the clock or something like that. So I would really be paying attention to those, number one, the warning signs with the coyote, but also, even the positive signs and symbols that we all get. You have the Death card. Again, definitely some sort of transformation going on for you here. So I do feel like there could be like a change or a transformation with this Death card energy that you're going through. I do also feel like that's you showing up in the reading. Whenever we show up as ourselves, it puts us in a position of power and strength. So definitely good, to show up as yourself like that. Next, you have the coyote. Like I said, I would be very careful of kind of the warnings, the things that you see that stand out to you that you do view as warning signs. That's really what I'm getting here off of this card. I also do feel like a more playful energy, so I do feel it would be a good time for you to take part in play or to do things that you enjoy doing, just probably to get out of your head. You have the Nine of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Ace of Swords. Really nice. Nine of Pentacles is a card of gratitude and luxuries. I do feel there are just kind of like good things coming in for you with the Nine of Pentacles. I also feel a balance of energy. You have the Ace of Swords. There are two sets of 3 golden yods on either side of the Ace of Swords, and it represents perfect balance. It represents, something that's coming into balance. She has 3 pentacles on one side, 6 pentacles on the other. Not in perfect balance necessarily, but it kind of is. The 3 pentacles are what she's willing to give to a situation. The 6 pentacles, she always keeps enough for herself so that she doesn't, run out of money or whatever it is that she needs. So, again, the pentacles don't have to be money on the Nine of Pentacles. It could just be her time, her energy that she gives to other people, things like that. And she always makes sure that she gives in balance. Not only that, she's extremely focused, and you can see here she has that falcon, and she also has like a falconer's glove on her hand. It represents the fact that she kind of practices being focused. She practices the things that she focuses on. She's very aware of what she focuses on as well. Magician. The Magician has flowers all around his card, on the Magician card. He knows that he has to focus on joy, happiness, love, abundance to be able to have joy, happiness, love, and abundance. He understands that what he focuses on is what he gets, It's as above, so below, so within, as without, that type of thing with the Magician. So he knows that he has to focus on the right things to get what he wants. The Ace of Swords is a laser-like focus. The Ace of Swords to me represents being focused like a laser beam on something. So clearly, I feel that this week would be a great week for you to focus on joy, happiness, love, desires, the things that you desire to have, because I feel like you're going to be manifesting them very quickly. You have this galactic mushroom card. There you go. It says the Divine Matrix on it. I do feel you're super tapped in this week, which is a good thing. I feel like you're very spiritual. Like I said, I feel like you're spiritually very connected at this time as well. I would stay focused with this energy. I feel like the universe is trying to get you to focus on something, again, other than joy, happiness, abundance, like all those good things. That's great. I would definitely focus on that. But again, I can't get away from that coyote spirit. I feel like the universe is trying to say, pay attention over here. There's something that needs to be paid attention to in your life. Intuitively, I don't feel it has to be a warning either. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. I don't really feel it's bad or good. I feel like it's just something that needs to be paid attention to. We're going to clarify in just a second, and we'll find out, what comes up. You have the Ten of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Emperor. Everybody's been getting the Emperor. I just feel people feel a little bit controlled right now. So, if you just look at anything that's happening in the news and all this other stuff, tons of control stuff, doesn't really surprise me. Again, we're kind of seeing the death of the old way of doing things, as I've been saying for a long time. So I think we're moving towards a time of more freedom. And so, whenever that happens, it's like the old ways try to make, kind of hold on tighter, right? So we're probably going to see more of the government trying to control things, stuff like that. It could also be in your personal life as well. Could be in love, could be, a person like a parent, could be a boss that's trying to control you. And I feel for a lot of you that you're kind of starting to rebel. You have the Five of Wands. I don't think there's going to be some sort of revolution or anything crazy like that. Like I always say, I feel like it's actually going to be much more peaceful, these changes that we're going through this time. And, but I just feel, Five of Wands is a card of conflict and competition. Five of Wands really isn't a bad card. It's a card of learning. The people on this card, they are learning how to fight. They're learning how to use their energy to, fight, basically. So really, to me, it's a card of learning. It can represent a little bit of a period of discomfort, but at the same time, it is a card to call Indiana Jones. To me, it's a card of going through something and kind of getting a reward at the end. And here you go, Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is a card of a burden, but he is carrying his harvest. That is a harvest. Again, I don't care what anyone says. If you read about the Ten of Wands, it's not a bad card. He is burdened, but it's his harvest. He's about to have a harvest. How is that a bad thing? Again, it's kind of like a card that says, yeah, You might be experiencing some responsibilities. There might be some burdens in your life, some things that you're dealing with, but he has reached the end. He is about to release his burdens, and he's about to put them down, and he's about to have a harvest. He's about to reach that home in the background. So I kind of feel like, a lot of you are coming to the end of a difficult period of time, or coming to the end of some of this stuff. Let's see. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. Again, like I said, conflict, competition. I feel like you're just dealing with like heavy energies. Like I said, I feel like some of you are kind of resurrecting something here, or revisiting something that you thought about doing in the past. I do feel for a lot of you it is financially related. Like maybe you had a business that didn't work out, or maybe you tried to get into a business or tried to get into something and didn't work out. Now I feel like you're kind of like getting into it again. With the Two of Cups, you have the Chariot. The Chariot is a victory, so definitely a victory coming in for you. I'm telling you right now, I would say between now and 2028 or something like that, that you're going to get moving cards every single reading that I do for you, Scorpio. I mean, it just doesn't surprise me. I would say that, Scorpio is definitely one of those signs that has a lot of movement energy. That does not mean you have to move. It just, again, it just means that it's one of those things where the energy is there. So it's like it wouldn't surprise me if you move a bunch of times over the next few years. It also wouldn't surprise me if just things are moving around in your life a lot. Like, maybe you have a gym, maybe it moves and you have to go to another gym, or you have to go to the same gym, but it just moves. And there could be like your favorite restaurant, maybe it moves. I think you're going to be noticing like a lot of movement. Just take the word movement and apply it to however it can work in anything in your life. You're going to be noticing a lot of movement. Is this a bad thing? I would say no, because again, Chariot is a card of a victory. It's also he's like leaving what he has always known. And sorry, my camera froze. I don't know if it's actually focusing or not, but it's a card of movement. But he's going somewhere he's never been before. It makes life more exciting. With the Death card, you have the Ten of Cups, so fortune after difficulty. A lot of happiness coming in for you with the Death card. I mean, with the Ten of Cups here. So I feel there's just happiness and joy kind of coming in. Definitely a good time to work with other people. I mean, Ten of Cups is a card of your community, card of people in your life. So I feel it would be a good time to like work with some people. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Two of Swords. It's like I'm getting this question, like how can I use my resources here on the Nine of Pentacles? I feel like a lot of people could be asking that question, like, can I use my resources to make more money? Can I use my time to, how can I better use my time? I feel a lot of people are having these questions. I don't know about anybody else, but it feels like to me the days are getting shorter and shorter and shorter, right? It's like time seems to be speeding up. So I feel like we are entering into this time of like speed, things moving faster, cycles that normally would take longer happening quicker. So I feel like because of that, we're really looking at our resources and saying, how can I get the most out of it? Mostly because of time. With the Magician, you have the Three of Pentacles. Again, if you're trying to manifest something, 2 heads are better than 1. 3 heads are even better. 4 is even better, right? So Three of Pentacles, card of teamwork. Pretty much every single reading I do, there's something about teamwork. And again, I think it's because we're entering into a time of co-creation. So it's like if you're co-creating with other people, you're just going to have a lot more abundance. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Four of Cups. Yeah, needing to focus. I do feel like a lot of the things that we're focusing on or being asked to focus on involve past disappointment. So it's like, I feel like the universe is kind of bringing a lot of us the things that we desire. The problem is the external world. I feel like externally things look restricted, right? Because, there's all this talk about recession and, all these other words that they're throwing at us that really mean nothing. So, and I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying they make all this stuff up and they make it happen, right? And so I feel like we're all kind of like, the universe might be saying, like, go start this business. And you might be thinking, with what money, Or you might be wanting to go find love and maybe you're feeling like you can't for whatever reason. So it's kind of like, I feel a lot of us are being asked to take that type of risk. We're being asked to move towards the things that we truly desire. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Death card again. It's coming up in the same diagonal right here. So I feel for a lot of you, you are going through that reinvention that we were talking about earlier, where you could be kind of reinventing yourself, or you could just be kind of reviving something, revisiting something that was probably a lot of work in the past. Sometimes I feel, you have the Five of Wands here. Sometimes I feel like that Five of Wands is like saying, try again, even though it is showing up with the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a card of perseverance, like trying again, right? And sometimes I feel like the Five of Wands is like saying, you learned a lot from this the first time, so it's like, why not get the reward? Why not see something through to the end? And sometimes I think we fail at something, like starting a business or writing a book or whatever it is that we're doing, and we're like, oh, it's not going to work. But really, it's like, no, you learned a lot on the failure, so it's like, get the success next. That's where this reading is going. With the Five of Wands, you have the Nine of Cups, so wishes, wish fulfillment, happiness. I just feel fulfillment. And with the Emperor here, you have the Temperance card. The Temperance card, I feel like, is talking about patience, but Temperance is about turning one thing into another. Again, pretty simple reading. For a lot of you, I feel like this reading is simply saying that you're taking something that didn't work out the first time and you're getting it to work the second time. Pretty simple. And again, I'm not saying just the second time. Maybe you've had a lot of failures in love, a lot of failures in business, but it's like this time you're having fulfillment and success. Love it. So thank you for being here, Scorpio. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.